Given her current status in the World Athletics fastest woman in the 100 meters for the 2024 season, we must ask the obvious question as Paris Olympic Games approaches. Can Tia Clayton medal in the women's 100 meters at the Paris Olympic Games 2024. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we continue to grow. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video each once a day here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit the like button and finally leave your thoughts. On the ready? Yeah, good to go. Well, according to World Athletics, Tia Clayton is currently the sixth fastest woman over the 100 meters for the 2024 season. Now, there are 5 women ahead of her so far this season in the 100-meter event. These women are some that you would already know. The USA's Sha'Carri Richardson with the fastest time of 10.71. Joshua Shears, also of the USA, with a time of 10.77. Julian Alfred with the third fastest time, a time of 10.78. Melissa Jefferson of the United States with a time of 10.80. Then Sharika Jackson with a time of 10.84. And then Tia Clayton, sixth, with her time of 10.86 seconds. This time she did as she raced in the semifinals at the Jamaican National Championships 2024 against Sharika Jacko Jackson, scoring her new PB of 10.86 seconds to beat the remarkable Sharika Jackson in the semifinal event.
4 of the 8 athletes: Tia Clayton, MVP; Sharika Jackson, MVP; Shakoria Wallace, MVP; Crystal Slowly, UTEC; Alana Reed, Nike; Brianna Williams,
Report for the start, please.
Sprintec; Lene Tava Thomas, Puma. So, final bit of inspections being done by the officials. This is semi-final 2 of 2 women's 100 meters. And sent away cleanly. Look at the start from Sharika Jackson. Sasha Lee Forbes looking good at this stage. Look at Tia Clayton on the inside. Tia Clayton is storming. Sharika Jackson trying to get back. It's Tia Clayton. What time will she produce? 10:83. Wow.
My.
And that would be a massive personal best. That would be a personal best by a city block. What's the official time? What's the wind reading?
86.
Incredible.
Positive 1.0 meters per second, the wind speed as well.
She's now the 10th fastest Jamaican in history. 10.86. That's incredible. Who was the first to get there? Was it her twin sister?
Yeah.
That is incredible. She is now the fastest Jamaican.
Now, Tia said in... Yes, I know I shared the long version of that video, but personally, I love seeing her running her first sub-11 second race at 10.86. And more importantly, honestly, I love seeing when her sister Tina Clayton embraces her. It's so emotional. I don't know, so sometimes I catch up in my feelings. I don't know, mistake. For those who are not Jamaicans, that means sometimes I can be sensitive. Yeah, I can be. All right, let's get back to the video. So, Tia Clayton came back to take second in the finals of the women's 100 meters at Jamaican National Championships, running her second sub-11, a very impressive 10.90, ahead of the 5-time world champion Shelly and Fraser Price and behind the eventual winner and national champion Sharika Jackson. So, I thought this was very impressive because first, 2 sub-11s within an hour and her first sub-11s at that, and both times were pretty impressive times. Now, we next saw her race outside of Jamaica, where she was not as impressive, but more technically because she just ran a terrible race. I don't know what was going on with that. She wasn't sub-11, and her race itself was just not very good. Terrible start, had to run from the back of the pack, eventually took second behind the eventual winner, Tabari Davis of the United States, and of course took second in a time of 11.06 seconds.
Strong start from Tamari Davis. She's put the young Jamaican under pressure. Tamari Davis trying to run away from the front. Strong start, strong middle. Is it going to be a strong end from Tamari Davis? It is. It was a great start for Tamari Davis, and I don't think she let up at all.
Not necessarily Tia Clayton's most impressive showing. I should point out that Joshua Sears, because of injury, is not a factor. So yes, she's the 6th fastest, but Sears is not anywhere in the process. So basically, technically, she's the 5th fastest. If you get what I'm saying, the other 4 athletes are currently running. Sears, unfortunately, had to take a break because of injury. In the finals, the NCAA Outdoors Championships, if my memory serves me correctly, or in the SEC, one of the two. So, can Tia Clayton medal at the Paris Olympic Games? Now, I'm going to try to push my personal patriotism as a Jamaican aside and try to do what I try to do very often here at Peter Lloyd World, is try to be balanced. Now, let's be frank. First up, outside of the fact that she does seem to possess the speed, 10.86 is impressive no matter which way you look at it. There are a few young ladies who are much faster than her. Clearly the number 1 person would be Sha'Carri Richardson, who's going in as the clear gold medal favorite. If we're just looking at the sheer numbers and removing our emotions, she has to be the clear gold medal favorite because she has run the fastest time this year. Fairly impressively, that 10.71. As I said, Sears is not in the process. So the next person would be Julian Alfred with that 10.78. Also a very important time. And I've said I think Julian Alfred and Sha'Carri will be factors in the finals of the women's 100 meters. So then now she'd have to get past Melissa Jefferson, who seems to be having the time of her life, running pretty consistently, and her time of 10.80 is a solid time. The next person she would have to beat, of course, has to be Shericka Jackson. Now, Jackson has not looked her best. We gotta all be honest. We know that there's some injury issues, and we're all a little concerned about that. But, so technically, she could be running 5th, just based on her time. So the next question would be, could she run faster than the time she ran? My personal opinion is that I actually think she could. That last race she ran, like I said, everything was wrong at that race. It was terrible. Go back and look at the race. She was like the last person to the blocks. I don't know. They caught her sleeping. But I think running at her best, she seems to be coming into form. I mean, if you produce your first sub-11 and you go 10.86, that's pretty impressive. 6th fastest time for the entire year in the whole world. And then within an hour you come back and you run at a 10.90. You are really priming into shape. So if the young lady from the championships turns up in Paris, and I think she will, I think she can run faster than a 10.86. She can probably run close to a 10.80. It's not impossible. I really think she's priming into form at the right time. So I don't think her PB is going to remain 10.86 for the rest of the season. She is going to go beyond that. Secondly, can she handle the pressure? Well, we have seen her do that on several occasions. She turns up, champs, the World Under-20 Championships in the 4x1s. She has never buckled under pressure. So we know that psychologically, plus she ran against Shericka Jackson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and she didn't buckle. She ran. That's a hard feat. Those are 2 of the fastest women in history. I saw nothing in how she ran psychologically. And you know that it's important, in my humble opinion, that psychologically the athlete must be ready. So I believe flat speed, that 10.86, Tia Clayton has a chance of medaling. An outside chance, but a chance nonetheless. Like I said, she has to pass those other people. But and to reinforce, I'm saying I believe her PB will get better. She will run something closer to a 10.80, I think, by the end of the Paris Olympic Games, if she remains healthy, and she will be healthy. And then I'm saying that psychologically, she turns up at the big events. We saw her perform at the Jamaican National Championships. She did not look intimidated by two of the fastest women, not just in the world, but in the history of the women's 100 meters. So she's not going to be worried about bright lights and stuff. The Jamaican National Championships and the US National Championships are the two hardest on the planet. If you can stand up there, you're good to go. So realistically, does she actually have a chance? I think realistically she does, but it's an outside chance. What do I mean? I mean out of 100%, maybe 20 to 25% chance, and I might be being generous because Julian, Sharika, Melissa Jefferson, and Sharika Jackson, of course, Melissa Jefferson and Sha'Carri would have to be really off their game. But if any of those women are off, she can medal. And I honestly think she will run closer to a 10.80 or maybe even sub before the end of the part, before she gets to the finals or maybe in the finals. She seems to be, like I said, rounding into form. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. And like I said, I'm being unemotional and I'm just looking at the numbers and looking at her previous experience. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Tia Clayton can realistically make that podium in the finals of the women's 100 meters at the upcoming Paris Olympic Games, should she remain healthy? Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Remember, your royals, kings, and queens. Bless up.